People often wonder what the difference is between alloy wheels and carbon wheels. But what really is the difference?
What really is the difference?
Don't ask.
So most bikes come with alloy wheels as standard, and generally speaking, only the most expensive road bikes will come with carbon wheels. That said, they're a very popular sort of upgrade component for most people's bikes.
Yes, and you can pick up a pair of carbon wheels for around £500, €600, and if you're in the US, $700. But they also range from around 1,000 to 2,000 euros, pounds or dollars because of the costly manufacturing process compared to the alloy wheels.
In contrast to that, alloy wheels typically range from around 100 to 700 pounds or dollars for a good quality pair. So buying a pair of carbon wheels can be a very considered purchase. In this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the differences between the two so that you can make the best decision.
Right, should we get to it?
Sure, man.
Let's do it. But other than price, what is the difference, I hear you ask? And well, the first one's obvious, the visuals. Those carbon rims that Ollie's rocking look absolutely phenomenal.
They look mint, don't they?
Yes,
and,
they do.
you know, I might not be the fastest rider, but I can still look fast, and that is the most important thing.
Ollie, looks on everything.
What?
But traditionally, alloy rims had an unpainted brake track, and that's because the braking of that surface caused the paint to chip off. So manufacturers just kept it bare.
Yeah, however, this is changing, and as proof of that, I've got Exhibit A on Hank's bike there. Disc brakes are becoming increasingly popular on road bikes, and crucially, more affordable too. And if you have an aluminium disc brake wheel, well, you can paint it whatever colour you like, because the braking is done at the disc, and therefore it's not going to wear off the paint on the rim. And so that means you can have a relatively entry-level wheel, such as this Vision Trimax 30, yet it can have this all-black, sort of almost carbon look to it, which is, well, really classy.
Other than the looks, carbon rims can also be made lighter than the equivalent alloy rims, and also more aerodynamic, because the depth of the rim can be made much deeper. If you had a super deep alloy rim, it would just be really heavy and probably quite uncomfortable to ride. So this is where the carbon rim comes into its own.
The next big difference is weight. So an entry-level aluminium wheel set typically weighs around 2 kilograms for a pair without tyres. Now, if you compare that to a carbon clincher with a deep section rim, such as this Vision Metron 55, well, this weighs around 1,500 grams for a pair without tyres. So that's a saving of around half a kilo. But carbon wheels can be even lighter than that. So if you've got some top-of-the-range, lightweight carbon wheels, they can weigh as little as just a kilogram per pair.
That might not sound like a lot, but it is actually really noticeable when out riding, especially when accelerating or attacking up a climb.
The area of the wheel where weight is most important is the rim. And the reason for this is that the mass here has a greater moment on the centre axis of the wheel, which means that if you're going to be doing, say, a criterium where you've got to accelerate out of lots of technical corners or ride up punchy climbs, then the most advantageous wheel is going to be a lighter rim with lower inertia.
Aluminium wheels can be great though, and they can weigh as little as 1,300 to 1,400 grams, which, well, isn't a lot.
No, it's not a lot, but you can save a further 300 grams if you go for a wheel like the Vision Metron 30 tubular, which we don't have here, but that's quite a big saving.
Yeah, and that doesn't sound a lot, but when you're stamping on the pedals or smashing up a climb, that is a real difference.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, I'm riding carbon wheels and James is riding aluminium wheels. Mine are the Vision Metron 55s and James is riding the Trimax 30s. And they both weigh sort of roughly the same ballpark, around 1,500 grams. But the crucial difference is that the added mass in mine is functional. It's aerodynamic because they're deeper. So that brings us on to our next difference, aerodynamics.
biggest advantage to carbon rims is aerodynamics. You can go for these deep section aerodynamic wheels like Ollie's got in here. And simple terms, you can go faster for the same effort. And I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Now, how much faster a deep section wheel is, well, either loads or not very much, depending on your perspective. So this has been studied a lot by many different independent sources, and generally speaking, you could expect to save around 30 seconds over 40 kilometres at 40 kilometres an hour by using a deeper wheel like this over a shallower wheel like this.
That sounds quite a lot. So if you are bothered about getting more aerodynamic and faster, then well, carbon wheels are the ones to go for.
With regards to braking, if you're running rim brakes, then aluminium rims are accepted as having better braking performance than carbon rims, and this is something that is particularly exaggerated in the wet. Aluminium rims also offer better heat dissipation than a carbon rim, and if you're a heavier rider or if you're dragging the brakes down a steep descent, it is possible to delaminate a carbon rim.
Yes, but manufacturers have addressed this by texturing the rim and improving the resin.
But if you're running disc brakes, then the material your rim is made from doesn't matter because all the braking is done at the disc. And another advantage is to do with rim wear. So using your rim brakes can wear your rim, and this can be very expensive on a carbon rim because, well, it can't really be repaired, but it's not a problem if you're running discs.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Deep section wheels like this can be twitchier in crosswinds, and this is a common concern that people have. Unfortunately, I can't really show it you today because today is the stillest day of the year. But I have ridden deep sections in a wide variety of conditions, and I can say that it's not as bad an issue as what a lot of people think, and it's something that has been greatly improved with more modern rim shapes.
But it can be more of an issue if you're a smaller, lighter rider like myself. But I would go for an all-round wheel. So the 40mm Vision I've got here is perfect. It's light, it's aerodynamic, and it just does everything.
Yeah, and it's not going to be too twitchy in the crosswinds.
Which is ideal. Right, Ollie, we need to talk about stiffness.
What?
Of the wheels.
Of course, yeah.
It's a really important attribute to have a stiff pair of wheels. The last thing you want is a flexy, inefficient and rather spongy feeling wheel set when you're smashing it on the pedals. And also, it's a lot nicer and more confidence boosting when having a stiff pair of wheels in the corners.
But it's important to point out, and it's a big but, that you can make a really stiff set of wheels out of aluminium or carbon. The only difference will be that the aluminium wheels will probably be a little bit heavier.
We want to keep it light, don't we?
So there you have it. Armed with this knowledge, hopefully now you can pick the wheel that best suits your needs. And if you found this useful, then please give it a thumbs up, as that will help others find it too.
Yes, and if you want to watch a video on the difference between aluminium and carbon bikes, then click down here.